the man who once killed Goliath calls himself your servant to the king of Gath, where Goliath came from. It's quite a jarring line. It doesn't sound rebellious. It even sounds, if you listen to David, he kind of sounds humble and wise. Well, listen, king, why should I live in your city? Let me not stay in the royal city of Gath. Give me somewhere else. And kind of modest and practical, but it's masking his fears. You know, a rural outpost for David, it makes sense. It would avoid any tension with the citizens of Gath. His men and family can rest. He's moved away from the idolatry of the court. Achish is pleased. He even seems a little bit flattered. And so he gives David the city called Ziklag. You know, on paper, everybody wins. Achish gains an ally. David's got his sustainability now. He's protected. The plan works. But beneath all of the wisdom is a little bit of substitution. Earlier, look at David's accounts earlier. He trusted God's promise. Now he trusts his strategy more than God's promise. And now that strategy that we read about in the beginning of this chapter has hardened into David as a policy. He no longer seeks the Lord. He's managing all of the outcomes. His fear has matured into control. See the progression. In verse 1, fear whispers, there's nothing better than to escape. In verse 5, fear now speaks politely. Let your servant dwell in a country town. What began as a private despair is now wearing the language of wise diplomacy. Listen, this is how unbelief behaves. It starts as small self-talk, but it ends in big strategies. But I want you to see something wonderful about our God. Even in this misstep, God is working. There's just a little hint as the historian records this for us. He says, therefore, Ziklag has belonged to the kings of Judah to this day. What an irony. Through this morally gray moment, the borders of Israel, of God's people, actually expand. The Lord turns this detour in David's life into a little deposit of grace. Now listen, providence, God's ordering of all things, is not permission for unbelief. But we thank God for His sovereignty, His security. It's a safety net underneath us. There's a little hint here in the chapter. It's a safety net underneath David. God's faithfulness outlasts our failures.